chances are you probably study way more than you actually need to. And you still don't get like the consistently good grades that maybe not really you want, but your parents want you to get. And you're still gonna get homework, but the more efficiently you do it, the less you'll have to do. What I mean here is that you can treat this like a competition. That like, oh, I study 2 hours a day. I study 3, I study 4, I study 5. I study 8 hours a day. I study the whole day. You can treat it like that. Or you can treat it like something you actually want to do, because studying, probably, unless you are really trying to do like something that is related to school with your life, then this video is not for you. But chances are you probably don't want to be studying for the entire day. You don't want to be studying 8 hours a day. You don't want to be studying a lot. You want to be studying a little bit, doing a little bit of work for school. You can easily put in the work. You can make yourself study 8 hours a day, but you don't want to. That's not the point. The point is that you're doing as little studying as possible, but still getting the results that you want. This just means that you can study less while still getting good grades, so that your parents don't beat you. So you can focus more on what actually matters to you, because you don't want to be studying a ton, even though you can, and still be getting okay grades. You want to be studying a little and getting good grades so that your parents aren't mad at you, but so that you can do what you want to do. Now, if you answered that question honestly, you might not be studying your flashcards and going through them every day. You might not be working on your math homework and making sure that every single problem is right, looking up this theorem and this answer, and can I have a decimal here and whatnot. Even though that night, you know that the next day you're going to go into class and the teacher's going to be like, she's just going to check it real quick to make sure that you did it. She's not going to actually check if you did them right. Or you can just kind of like mark them right. You just fix them up. If you were wrong, or just ask a question. You don't need to spend all that time, but there's a reason why you're spending it, because you're giving yourself all this time to do it. If you ever heard of Parkinson's law, it's almost just, I don't really know how to explain it, but it's more like just a law that you will always meet your deadlines, whether they're far out or they're really short. Say you have to do this one thing by tomorrow, and it's really hard. You have to write a 10-page essay by tomorrow. You're going to get it done. But if you say, I have to do this big project in 2 months, it's going to take you 2 months unless you set yourself a deadline that's sooner than that. If you get into class and the teacher says that you have 3 hours to do this, to do X, it's going to take you, and so you're doing a group project and everybody sucks there except for you, because you're disciplined, and you could probably knock that project out in like an hour, but you have 3 hours to do it. So then you spend the whole time making it fancy and adding all this extra stuff that you don't need, and end up taking 3 hours instead of what could have just taken you like 30 minutes. And going back to those flashcards and homework, if you actually answered that question truthfully, you would probably say that, okay, maybe instead of just flipping through flashcards and memorizing all of them, maybe you'd write down what you think is going to be on the quiz. Probably not all the flashcards on the quiz. Write down what you think is going to be on the quiz, and just put yourself a couple times easy. Maybe you'll do the math sheet, but just do whatever works right the first time. If you get an answer, that's fine. Maybe if it's blatantly wrong, you can go back and check it. But then maybe just do that, and then you can take some notes on like the ones that were hard and that maybe you didn't get an answer that you think is correct. and then save that for your quiz or whatever. You don't need to do all of this work. You just need to knock it out as fast as possible, because chances are you don't want to be doing all of this work. You just feel like you have to get a good grade. That question I just asked of, if you only have 3 hours a week to do something, let's say that you only have 3 hours a week to study. In the entire week you only have 3 hours to study for school. It forces you to think. Wind is really picking up, brushing my papers around, but it forces you to think rationally. Like you have a deadline that you need to meet. Because your time is limited. In other words, the sooner you set the deadline, the better you'll do it and the faster you'll do it. But the later you set the deadline, the worse you'll do it and the longer it will take you, because you're going to be doing things that aren't really worth your time.